Hi, I'm Poeticlyskuac from the forum. Victor, Vic, whatever. Call me whatever. First, I want to apologize. This is all I got is my camera phone. Works all right. Hope you guys get some shit out of it. Anyways, so first thing I want to talk about is deciphering body language kind of guidelines. Guidelines are basic. You know, we kind of need guidelines. I don't want to call them rules because rules don't always match, in my opinion, with body language. Things don't always match perfectly in body language. So we're going to talk about clusters first. Clusters are important. You want to have an evidence file, so to speak. You want clusters, you want signs and signs and signs and signs and signs. And then you want to kind of draw a conclusion, build a case, you know, however you want to put it. You want to make sure you have a lot of signs to point at something. And the next thing you want context. Context is very, very important. You need to put each body language thing in context. If you ask a girl something and it makes her uncomfortable, a lot of times she'll cross her arms. Well, why did she cross her arms is a good question. You know, a lot of girls are constantly cold, so she could just be cold. So make sure you just understand that body language is should always be put in context. Understand that, like, some situations, you know, if a girl seems like she's standing close, so she must be attracted. Well, where are you, okay? If you are in a club, of course she's going to be standing close. That's just how it goes. If it's packed, you know, the amount of space that you're allotted is going to decrease. That's just relative to the situation, the context of the environment. The next thing I want you guys to pay attention to is congruency. Make sure their body language agrees with it, okay? You know, this is one thing that I will say about dishonesty is congruency, okay? A lot of liars will say something and say something else. So they'll sit there and they'll be like, no, I didn't do it. Okay, well, a lot of times it won't be like a shaken head twice. It'll just be like, no, I didn't do it. But they shook their head yes, which means they did it in 3/4 of the cases, depending on, like, you know, the context of the sentence before, etc. But you need to realize there has to be congruency. The body language has to agree with everything. That's just how it goes. And the next thing I want you to pay attention to is consistencies. Make sure that the body language is consistent. You want it to consistently happen throughout the time you're talking to a person. You don't want it to happen in 1 hour span. You don't want her to preen twice, smile 3 times, and then say, oh, she's been attracted to me. Well, if she's been preening the whole hour and she only preened twice, that's one thing. But, you know, if she sat there and she, you know, in a 1 hour span adjusted her hair and smiled at you and, you know, a few things, you might want to take it as merely she's comfortable with you. You just need to kind of understand. And there's one thing that I think is very important, and that's idiosyncratic behaviors, okay? We all have certain behaviors we do that is normal to us, okay? Some girls are very insecure. Some are about their weight, some about their hair, some things, whatever. They have a behavior that they continually do. I know a lot of girls that put their hands on their hips, kind of showing, oh, I'm big and whatever. I know girls that will adjust their hair accordingly. So it really just kind of depends on the situation. One girl I know, she literally has had to make dinner for a few of us because we bet her she couldn't stop preening for half an hour. 30 minutes. She couldn't not touch her hair. That lasted a good minute. Okay, that's how automated it is. So you need to realize everybody has behaviors, and so you need to put that into the same thing with the context and the consistency and the clusters and the congruency and then their personal behaviors. So all that has to add up. You can't just, you know, just ignore part of the guidelines. Those have to be kind of all similar. You know, everything has to fit. You can't just say, oh, you know, she preened. Well, so what if she preened? Why did she preen? Was it for you even? Did she even make eye contact with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to, you have to have things happen in a certain way. And you kind of have to have guidelines. There's not really rules for body language because things change. Context will change things. Consistency might change due to environment, you know, which is the context once again. These all play off each other, and you guys need to be aware of all of them, okay? So Make sure you're looking for clusters. Make sure you're looking for congruency. Make sure you're looking for consistency. Make sure you're looking for context. And especially make sure you're looking for idiosyncratic behaviors. I will say idiosyncratic behaviors, their consistencies within their own behaviors, are great for flirting, okay? If nobody else tonight has noticed, or today has noticed, or in the last week has noticed that she does one little thing, I watched one of the pickup artist things, and he said something like, "Oh, I love the way your nose wiggles when you laugh." Okay, well, honestly, something like that is a similar concept. With one girl, she might only turn red on, towards her forehead. I know one girl, when she would raise an eyebrow, only one eyebrow though, when she was talking. Like, look for little behaviors that they consistently do. They're great for flirting, and you also need them to understand whether they're attracted to you or whether it's just part of their behavior. All right. This is Poeticlyskuac. I'm sorry if this was long. Sign off. Peace.